In the land of eternal sun, where the Nile flows like a lifeline through the desert, gods and mortals once walked side by side. But not all power wore a pharaoh's crown. Some of it flowed in whispers of magic, in lions' roars, in moonlight and tears. These are the women of Egyptian mythology, goddesses of war and healing, of the sky and the underworld. Their stories shaped an empire and echoed across millennia. These are the 7 most iconic women of ancient Egypt's divine world. Chapter 1. Isis, the Mother of Magic. In the pantheon of Egyptian gods, one name rises above the rest: Isis. She is the goddess of magic, of motherhood, of resurrection. She is the queen of the throne, whose power came not from brute force, but from knowledge, patience, and devotion. She wasn't born into prominence. She earned it through acts of sacrifice and strength. Her name, Aset, means throne, and through her son Horus, she literally kept Egypt's throne alive. When her husband Osiris was murdered and torn apart by his jealous brother Set, Isis began the impossible. She journeyed through deserts and across the Nile, gathering every piece of his body. With ancient spells and the help of her sister Nephthys, she breathed life into Osiris, just long enough to conceive a son, Horus, the falcon-headed avenger. Isis protected him in hiding, shielding him from Set's wrath until he was strong enough to claim the throne. Through cunning, compassion, and power, Isis became a symbol of sacred femininity, of love that heals, and of magic that defies death. Her worship spread far beyond the borders of Egypt, reaching as far as Greece and Rome. Temples to Isis still stand across the Mediterranean. She wasn't just a goddess, she was a movement. Chapter 2. Hathor, the Joy Bringer. She danced through the heavens with the sound of a sistrum in her hand and laughter on her lips. Hathor, goddess of love, music, beauty, and joy. She was adored by women, worshipped by mothers, and honored by artists. To the people of Egypt, Hathor was life at its most vibrant: the sweetness of wine, the rhythm of drums, the tenderness of a mother's touch. She welcomed souls into the afterlife with open arms, offering comfort and peace. Hathor was often depicted with cow horns cradling a sun disk, a symbol of her nurturing nature and radiant presence. She was seen as the divine mother of the pharaoh, and her temples rang with music, song, and dance. Travelers and foreign lands were under her protection, and she was often invoked for safe passage and happiness in love. This joy-bringing goddess reminded Egyptians that life was to be celebrated, that beauty was sacred, and that love itself was divine. Her presence in temples across Egypt reminds us that beauty and strength are not opposites, but partners. Hathor was life personified. Chapter 3. Sekhmet, the Fierce One. She was born from the Eye of Ra, and she came with fire in her breath. Sekhmet, the lioness of war, the healer of the sick, the devourer of injustice. When the gods needed vengeance, they sent Sekhmet. She swept across Egypt like a desert storm, punishing those who defied divine law. Her very presence was feared, her name invoked in both terror and awe. But divine wrath cannot rage forever. Her fury, unstoppable, nearly consumed the world. Only the trick of red beer calmed her, turning slaughter into slumber, destruction into peace. After the storm, she became something new, a healer, a protector. Temples were dedicated to her, not just as a warrior, but as a doctor. She was invoked by physicians for her curative powers. The same hand that burned now healed. In her duality, violence and medicine, fire and balm, Sekhmet teaches that destruction can be sacred. That wrath, when guided, can become wisdom. She is the lioness we all carry, fierce, protective, necessary. Chapter 4. Nut, the Cosmic Mother. Look up. The stars above you, the vault of night, that is Nut, the sky goddess. Her body stretches from horizon to horizon, arched over the earth like a canopy of eternity. She is the mother of the gods, the birth giver of the sun each dawn, the eternal womb of creation. Her lover is Geb, the earth. Their union was forbidden, but they clung to one another until Shu, god of air, tore them apart. Since then, Nut has remained above, Geb below, forever reaching, forever denied. Yet each evening, Nut swallows the sun. Each morning, she gives birth to it again. Death and rebirth, every day. Through Nut, the Egyptians understood the cosmos not as chaos, but as a rhythm, a divine cycle that never ends. She was also the barrier between chaos and order. She protected the world from the forces of the unknown beyond the stars. She is the night sky, and she cradles the universe in her arms. Chapter 5. Nephthys, the silent guardian. In the shadow of the great lies the quiet, the hidden. Nephthys is one such shadow. Sister to Isis, wife of Set, and goddess of mourning, death, and the unseen. She is often overlooked, but never absent. When Osiris died, it was Nephthys who stood beside Isis. It was Nephthys who wept for the dead, who guarded the tomb, who kept the sacred rites. She is not the queen or the warrior. She is the watcher, the protector of spirits. In funerary texts, her voice is the whisper that guides the soul through darkness. Where Isis heals the body, Nephthys consoles the soul. She was a bridge between the living and the dead, the sacred and the silent. Her symbols were used in rituals for the departed. She guarded canopic jars. She spoke the words the dead could not. Her power is quiet, unseen, but indispensable. She is the shadow behind the light, and in mourning she brings peace. Chapter 6. Maat, the feather of truth. Maat is not a goddess you worship. She is a goddess you live by. She is truth, justice, harmony, cosmic order itself. In the Hall of Two Truths, when the dead stand before Osiris, their hearts are weighed against her feather. If the heart is heavy with wrongdoing, it is devoured. If it is light, balanced, and true, it passes on to eternal life. Maat is the law of pharaohs, the rhythm of the stars, the curve of the river. Even the sun god Ra sailed through the sky each day under the protection of Maat. Without her, chaos would reign. She wasn't just a principle. She was a personified standard of existence. To live in Maat is to live in alignment with truth, with community, with the world. She wears no crown, she carries only a feather, and with that she judges all. Chapter 7. Tefnut, the breath of rain. Before there was earth, before sky, there was Tefnut. She is the goddess of moisture, the breath of clouds, the mother of life-giving rain. Born from the spit of Ra alongside her twin brother Shu, she helped form the world. Shu became air, and Tefnut, moisture. Without her, the world would be a dry tomb. Yet Tefnut is not just water. She is balance, emotion, restoration. In one myth, she leaves Egypt in fury. Drought falls upon the land. Only when she is brought back, through praise and ritual, does the rain return. Like all things divine, she must be honored to be present. She brings fertility to the soil, dew to the fields, life to the womb. Tefnut is breath, mist, rain, and in her the desert learns to bloom. These women were not just goddesses. They were forces, symbols, archetypes of power, love, balance, and transformation. In their myths, we find echoes of ourselves, our rage, our compassion, our cycles of loss and rebirth. They ruled not just Egypt, but the human soul, and through story they still do. If you enjoyed this journey through ancient Egypt, give this video a like, subscribe for more mythology, and let us know which goddess spoke to you in the comments. This has been Horizon Mythology. Thanks for watching.